Yeah, you fuck with your boy Antoine Sachs, Puff Beer representative. You are now listening to A-Chording to Mike and Tony, baby.
What's up, everybody? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Episode number 8.
Yeah, Happy New Year, fellas.
So we had scheduled for Mike Patty to be here today. Unfortunately, he caught one of the mini plagues that seem to be going around these days. So it's just me, Mike Pierce, and
Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Welcome back, man. It's been a while. So how's the New Year treating you guys so far? We're on, what, day 3?
Day 3. 3 days in, it's fine so far.
Yeah.
Kind of lazy.
Yeah. How about resolutions? What resolutions do you guys make?
New Year's resolution. You know what? I'm not so sure how I feel about New Year's resolutions. It seems like every year I make 17 of them, and I pretty much break all of them. So, but I mean, there are things I always want to accomplish. I'm more goal oriented, where it's January 1st is January 1st, just another day. I still got the same goals. So, but I did write down 2 things. One was that I want to get out of the house more this year. I work from home 3 days a week. Spend a lot of time in the house, so I want to try and get out a little bit more this year. Let's see here. And I want to spend more time with my kids. Yeah. It's easy to get busy, you know, do a lot of shit. And
Yeah. What about you, Bruce Leroy?
Man, just try to stay in the gym a little bit.
mm-hmm.
Finish law school, finish real estate school, and just and that's it. You know, just I had a good year. It wasn't a bad year at all. Just kind of keep my head down and like Tony said, it'd be good to camp a little more, spend a little time with family and friends. I feel like sometimes you get too wrapped up in the daily grind.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, yeah,
it's definitely true. What about you, Pierce?
Same. Mine's almost the same as like your guys' too. I want to get out more, do more camping, more outdoor stuff. Want to hit a couple of the 14ers this year.
Are you?
I want to take out the Jeep more now that everything is hooked up on it. I got that rear end on it and everything.
Yeah.
Take the chopper out a lot more too. This year I just wasn't able to do it because I was working from home like a majority of the time versus, working out.
Oh, so you don't have an excuse, right, to take it out?
I wasn't able to take it out.
Yeah.
So now I work way across town. I can take it over there and ride Koufax on the chopper.
Do you guys do that a lot? Do you guys go out on rides a lot? I remember last year, I know you went on at least 1 or 2, right? Together?
I don't think we rode together at all last year.
Talking about Bruce Leroy's got a bike too.
Yeah, no, not last year we didn't ride at all, but the year before we rode poker runs, and then we did
rode a few times.
Yeah, did poker runs and just going like to Morrison Inn and stuff like that. But
okay, yeah.
But my thing is just doing more outside and then being a little bit more active, trying to lose a weight again. Because every single time it happens, you start at the beginning. You're like, yeah, January, February, March, April, May, June. And the summer comes, you're like, yeah, I'm outside being active and everything.
And then the winter hits,
comes, and then it's like over the holidays, I think I ate 278 ginger snaps.
You're not alone, man. It's always rough when the holiday season hits, and usually I keep it together pretty late in the year, and then Thanksgiving hits and it kind of goes downhill from there. But I kind of face planted before the holidays even started this year, so then they got going and it was like constantly people over. My wife cooks up a storm every friggin' day, it feels like. Living life and enjoying the hell out of it, but got to snap back to reality. It's New Year. Time to get things going fresh again.
New Year, new you.
New year, new me. Yeah, going into the studio this month, which is exciting. Going in on 24th and 25th, going to the Spot Studios, going to lay down Dancing in the Sunshine. Do it nicely.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah, going to have a whole EP by summer. Keep recording. Book a weekend, probably a month. Try and bang out a song. I'm going to put them up digitally so people can download them. And then come summer, slap it all together in a physical EP and sell it. Have a big CD release party and whatnot.
Sign them and everything. You going to sign things?
Yeah, I want a signed copy.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Shit.
You going to play some live shows this summer?
Yeah, even probably before summer. We'll be rolling here soon. I'm working on booking stuff, getting a few things lined up now. So be a lot of playing this year. But I'm still staying stripped down and solo. Not stripped down. I'm not going to perform naked. It's probably not a good idea. Well, maybe it is. It might be. It's one way to build your following. Like, no, you got to see this guy. He's okay. I don't even know what he's singing about.
I don't know what he's singing.
He does it naked. It's crazy.
Naked as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to support you from a distance if you start playing naked. Yep.
No, I'm not going to do that. That'd be insanity. You know what we should do?
At ladies' clubs. That's where we'll be performing.
You know what we should do? We got a Christmas present. According to Mike and Tony, got a Christmas present. I don't know if you saw that on Facebook. It says it's from subscribers, which it's from
Thank you, world.
Yeah. Thanks to my wife. Why don't you crack that sucker open? Let's take a look and see what we got.
Next to it, so I want to check.
Do it up, buddy.
It's fancy. It's really wrapped nice.
Yeah, that's how you can tell my wife did it. All the ones I did look absolutely horrible. I'm into the bags. I'm like, just give me a bag and some
tissue paper.
You got it.
Can't jack it up.
37 seconds. That sucker's ready to go. So
we got some new tumblers for our whiskey.
More tumblers.
Oh wait, open it just in case.
Just in case. No, that's what it is. We got some.
Yep. All right. Those are nice. Dude.
Yeah, some nice tumblers. It's kind of a problem we've had. We sort of a tradition we started in the first episode. We sip on whiskey during each episode, and we didn't have proper glasses for a long time. So now we're hooked up. We got hooked up with some Crown Royal. It came with a couple of new cups, a couple of the host cups. And then now we've got 4 more tumblers. So.
This table looks ridiculous. We have Crown Royal, Guinness, energy drinks, Fireball, chocolate candies.
Yeah, it's a party on a table.
The staples of a good show.
You got it. Yeah, I think it's cool. It's fun sipping on whiskey. It's funny because I never drank whiskey before. I think I maybe had tried it once in my life. And then, I guess I had Fireball before, thanks to Mr. Mike Pierce over here. Took me down the Fireball road.
That's when you get the most wasted, too.
I've heard people say they're like, Fireball's so horrible, oh my God. I drink it tastes like candy to me. It's so sweet, it's dangerous.
Like Fireball.
It's delicious.
Fireball candies.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's always like, it tastes like Aftershock. Does anybody remember Aftershock, dude? It's like when you were in college in your early 20s. It was like this super cinnamon alcohol, and it comes in this bottle. It's like frosted, and it's like, but yeah, it's way more terrible than. I mean, it's not even terrible, but
no, this stuff tastes really sweet to me, which is one of the reasons it's dangerous.
Yeah.
On our Christmas Eve party, you know James, the big tall dude, jiu-jitsu fighter guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came over and this fool wrecked our party. He shows up with one of those like igloo containers that he had bought from Walmart, like a giant one, and he filled it with basically what I equated to like fancy holiday jungle juice. Like it was intense. So he drops it, and it's like the Fireball even more. It's just super sweet. It tastes kind of like Hawaiian Punch actually. So people just started getting torn. He had like 1 or 2 drinks, and then he left. He's like, just send me a picture when it's empty. I'm like, you crazy? So we got kind of nuts. Christmas Eve was, and I already had a goofy stomach because you remember I got sick.
Yeah, you had the bug.
Ugh. God, it was so horrible. You got any bugs? Either one of you got anything this year? You got a little sick, didn't you?
I just preventative measure. Steph got the flu, and then the sinuses tickled, and I just immediately got some antibiotics. So.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me. Well, antibiotics won't fix the flu though, because the flu's a virus.
Yeah, she got the flu, and you put her on the couch. Is that what happened?
I quarantined the shit out of her.
You lined up.
Me and Jared relate on this one. I get
you laid up the bathtub with some comforters and pillows. And you're like, that's your new bed, girl.
Sorry, babe.
For 2 weeks, I carried around disinfectant wipes. I made her wipe the steering wheel down in the car. Like if she touched it, she had to wipe it down.
Oh, you're funny. That's the same way I am. That's too funny. I get that spray of the giant. What's that stuff called?
Lysol.
Yes. Lysol's my weapon of choice. I guarantee put a nice little layer on anything. Nothing's gonna live on that for weeks. So we're the fights tonight, guys. Got the MMA. John Jones. Is it Daniel Cormier?
Bones Jones.
Should be a good fight. These guys. You know what's cool about this fight is the rivalry.
Yeah,
it's intense. You've seen the video of the two when they were weighing. It was it wasn't a weigh-in. It was like a promotional event in August. It was a promotional deal,
and that's when like Bones Jones lost his Nike endorsement for that.
Oh, I thought you were saying his shoe came off. No, it's like, damn it got crazy. Yeah. You know when your shoes come off, some shit went bad. No, yeah. So that's when they dropped him, huh?
So they dropped him, and then he came out with some like Vine video or something like that, or Vimeo or something, and it shows him like holding his Nikes, crying in the hotel room. Just making fun of it, essentially. He's like,
he gives two shits, right? Yeah, no, these are both beasts of fighters, man. And the rivalry, that kind of stuff, you know, maybe he lost his endorsement from Nike or whatever, and a lot of people may have gotten upset, but I think it helped the fight tremendously. When stuff like that happens,
oh, yeah.
Makes it more
Jesus, when's the last time that he fought, too? That's the other thing. I think it's been like a while since Jones fought.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge MMA guy. I'm just getting into it for the first time. But it's
we're more boxing.
Yeah, into the boxing thing. We're all excited about that one this year too. Hopefully that actually happens. Pacquiao, Mayweather.
Yeah.
Hey, you know he called him out. Floyd called him out.
Yeah, he sure did.
And he responded. He was like, "Let's not be a boxing humbug. Let's give fans what they want." I mean, Manny Floyd said, "Let's do it." Manny said, "I've been ready."
Yeah, and that's the funny thing with Manny too.
You know this.
He's willing to do whatever. Told him, "Shit, I'll take less money. We can do it wherever you want. Whatever drug test you want to do, it's all good." Which just makes me excited, man. That would be a great fight. I think a lot of us, obviously, we wish it happened when they were in their prime 5-6 years ago, but still should be a great fight.
The beginning of the year is always the best year for sports. You got NFL playoffs.
You're right. Got the playoffs going.
Then we got rivalry week, and then we got March Madness.
Yeah.
Coming on, and NFL playoffs today right now. We got Arizona going against Carolina.
You got that streaming live still?
Yeah.
What's the score right now?
7-10 right now. It's Carolina.
Okay.
And then later on, it's what? The Steelers and
Ravens.
Steelers, Ravens later. And everyone thinks it's actually going to be even now that the Bell's not playing, too. So maybe Bell's not playing. And which was a cheap shot by Nelson for sure in last week's game in Cincy.
That was nuts. What'd you think of that?
I thought that was cheap. It was pretty cheap. Just, go for somebody's. That's why they don't allow chop blocking. You can't take out people's knees. It ruins careers.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of funny how it has changed, though? I'm not disagreeing with it at all. I think it's good. But, if you look back, I was watching that, It's a Football Life on Lyle Alzado. Mm-hmm. That dude was a monster. And he was going out of his way. That was dirty hits every single game, at least 5, and things were just different. You could get away with stuff like that back then. They've changed it a lot now. So
in every sport, they've changed that, like back in the day with the Pistons. When they had Lambeer, Dennis Rodman.
Oh, you mean the way they played dirty or whatever?
Yeah. They're just not dirty, just physical.
Yeah.
I miss that. I love that.
The physical aspect.
Oh man, especially a football, because football is just, I don't know, man. You can't touch them, and they're like, oh yeah, you have to hit low. Well, now guys are getting blown out. They're getting their knees blown out, but that's the rules, right?
Yeah.
And they've got some guys, some of the premier players, running backs and receivers, they've gone into the other teams literally before the game start, and they've just been like, please just hit me high, I'll pay your fine. Just don't hit me in my knees.
Isn't that funny?
I agree.
Yeah, it's real crazy though that they actually have to do that. I feel kind of divided in some ways because there's no way you can deny it. I mean, shit, even watching MMA, but there's so many studies now. Before, brain research wasn't this advanced, and they hadn't done so many studies, and now they're seeing that the brain is like the one part of your body that doesn't really recover. You can break a leg. And the next season, you're fine. You could still be playing. These things that happen to your brain, what it does is it breaks down the barrier, the blood-brain barrier. And so it's basically seeping, stuff seeping. You're not supposed to have any blood in your brain. And over time, the more you get hit, the more it breaks down. And a lot of my knowledge about this, I owe to Joe Rogan. Dude.
Yeah.
He covers this stuff like crazy.
Yeah, and he was a great MMA fighter. And then he stopped doing it because...
Who, Rogan?
Yeah.
Did he do MMA stuff? I don't even know. I know he was not jiu-jitsu. He was a...
kickboxing, I think, wasn't it?
He did I feel retarded
He did something, but he was pretty good at it.
Yeah, he won several national championships. Yeah. It was Taekwondo, actually. Yeah. That's what his
Never
big
knew
thing
that.
was. Yeah, no, he's a beast. He was a real good fighter, but that's what he was saying. I mean, he retired at 21 from fighting. He was like, dude, all this stuff's coming out, and it seems silly. Because you watch these guys now. I mean, I was a huge Bears fan, and I don't know if you kept up on Jim McMahon at all, the old Chicago Bears quarterback that won Super Bowl in 85. Dude ain't right. He walks through his house, and he's pissed about it, too. He's making a big stink, but he walks through his house, and he's carrying his keys somewhere, and he's like, was I going somewhere? Why are my keys in my hand? He's a space cadet now, and that's what it's because when they look at it, when they look at your brain, of the brains of people who have had several concussions, and they look at people who have Alzheimer's, the beginnings of Alzheimer's, scientists cannot tell the difference. It's the exact same thing. So they basically just have a hard time remembering what they were doing or where they were going. Sometimes words or people won't come to them. They're trying to think of it. So these guys aren't the same guys. That all being said, and all these studies coming out and everything, do you think that these guys really didn't know that? I mean, maybe they didn't know to the extent, but the truth is you're out there banging into people with your head constantly. Yeah. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, I think they knew to some extent. I mean, because Otherwise, why wouldn't you have like headbutting? Why wouldn't that be legal? I mean, they knew that it had some repercussions at some point in time, but probably not as much as like they do now. As far as like long-term effects, they probably thought it was just something that, like you said, like a broken bone, just treat it and you're good to go.
Yeah, now they
just don't fight for a little bit, you'll be okay. But yeah, no, that's
right. Well, and the other part of it too is that with fighters, you're seeing, particularly with fighters, but with anybody, is that the more concussions you get, it's cumulative. So you may see a guy that when his first 15 years of his career never got knocked out, in his 15th year he gets knocked out once, then twice, then the next year he gets knocked out twice, and then you start seeing these progressive knockouts because it takes a lot less to knock you out once you start messing with that blood-brain barrier.
That's why Troy Aikman retired when he did, because he kept on getting concussion after concussion, and he was like, they found long-term effects.
I actually didn't really know that.
Yeah.
Is that why he
that's
called it quits? How many years did he play? Do you know?
Welker should have actually.
Dude, that guy's gonna be in trouble.
He's
when
gonna
he
be a
gets older.
vegetable. By the time
he's been getting crushed.
Yeah.
How many concussions has he had?
I think he had like 4 in the year, in like a year's time.
Was it 4? I knew it was 2 or 3. Jesus,
at least 4.
I think it's 4 within a year.
Yeah, Stephanie's nephew, he got blown up in the high school playoffs this past year, and he got popped real good, got up and kind of like tried to shake it off, and they knew something was wrong with him, but he didn't say anything. And the worst thing they did is they put him back in, and when they put him back in, he still wasn't real sharp, and then he got destroyed really good. It took him like a week and a half to get everything back. He couldn't remember phone numbers, like, basic stuff, address.
Jeez.
Week and a half to get that stuff back, and he's 17.
Oh God, man, that sucks.
Yeah. I've dealt with concussions twice. Once I dealt the concussion, the second I got a concussion. Me and my brother were wrestling in the basement, and WWF back then. It's not WWE, but it was WWF, and we were watching that, and I tombstoned my brother on the basement floor.
Oh,
on the concrete.
Oh,
he was supposed to put his hands underneath his head.
Did he go out?
He went out, and then he threw up right away, and so we had to go to the doctor, and they were like, do not let him sleep. We were probably like, he was probably like 9 at the time, and I was 13, so 4 years older than him, and just tombstoned him on the basement floor.
Were you the Undertaker?
Yeah, I was like, tombstoned him, man. And and then one time when I was in 8th grade, I was going down, we were playing basketball. We're in this tournament here in Aurora called Hoopla tournament, and we were playing against our rivals. And this dude was coming down the court like fast. I got down to the court. He was on a fast break. I stood in the middle of the lane. I was going to take the charge. I know he was going to try to blow through me, and so I stood there. I took the charge. He ducked down, and he caught his elbow underneath my chin, and he lifted my head back, and my head was the first thing to hit the ground.
Oh my God!
And I got up, and I was stumbling. I sat there. I didn't know what I was doing. I got back on the. I was sitting there, stumbling around like I didn't know where I was either. And my mom runs out on the fucking basketball court.
My baby.
Mom, get off of the court. That's the one thing I do remember. Get off the court. My dad took me off.
Moms my dad will be moms.
Dad was a coach at the time. And got on the floor and on the bench. My dad's, asking me how I was doing, where I was at, all these questions and everything like that. And I see that, and my mom's on the bench on the other side, and she's all, Randy, don't you put him back in. Don't you put him back in, Randy. And this is a Hoopla tournament.
Oh, no.
So we need to win. And so
yeah,
I went back in. I was like, Dad, I'm ready. I can go back in, Dad. I'm good. So I went in, and like after the game, I threw up.
Oh man, did you end up going to the doctor or anything?
Yeah.
Jeez.
My pupils all
dilated.
How
many people can say they got a concussion playing basketball? I mean, it happens, I'm sure, but
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, my head was the first thing to hit that ground. That hardwood.
I can't find how many concussions Wes Welker's had. They said 3 though for that season, but
he had 1 this year though.
Okay, so there's 4. But you're right. If he's been getting them for years, this dude started playing. I mean, he played college ball. He played high school ball. This dude's been getting hit for a long time. So, you think about it. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things when you watch boxing, you watch MMA, you watch football. It's exciting. And it's part of what makes it exciting is what those guys are willing to do, man. Those are fucking warriors.
Yeah.
When you watch them, and you hear them now. Some of them, they interview them, like Brandon Schaub when he was talking about it. He's like, I'd rather have, a shorter life full of explosions and fighting and living my life the way I want to live it, as opposed to, living long and not really taking risks and not doing what I want to do. So how can you argue with that? I mean, the Warriors want to get in that cage and do it. I'm willing to. I'll watch it. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
I mean, I agree with it, but once you take that mentality, right, and then when you turn 50, then don't start complaining, right? So you were the guy that was, you signed up for this. You're all out. When you're young and you feel invincible, you're a warrior, right? Which is great. And if that's your stance, I agree with it. But then when you turn 50, you can't turn your back and say, oh, well, the NFL, or the league or whatever, they didn't protect the players. You knew what you and 30 years ago, you were like, yeah, I'm ready. I'd rather have this. Well, now you got what you asked for.
Right. And they didn't have the studies then, but it's like we were talking about, it's common sense. You're out there banging your head around. What do you think you're going to be like brain-wise when you're 50 years old, and that's what you're doing for a living?
You take a 250-pound man and make him move at 4 or 5 speed. Right, and then take another guy and make him move at that speed and make him collide. What you think you're gonna get?
I think about that. I'm not a small dude. I mean, I'm 6'1". I'm not a teeny little guy. But if I was standing on the field, I try to imagine. I was talking to Meyer about this. I'm like, what if I was standing on the field and I just took a hit from any of them, just a professional NFL linebacker, just J.J. Watt, just boom, I might die. Like I could possibly die.
Well, that's the thing too. That's what I think we had that discussion too on how much money it would take for you just to stand there and take a punch from Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Just like even now. Just to take a punch from Mike Tyson now. I mean, we're not talking about probably just a straight punch from Mike Tyson. How much money would that take?
Oh, there's no amount. I'm happy with my life. No.
Look. I mean,
Jared always has a price.
Can you imagine getting punched in the face? Let's put it this way. Floyd Mayweather, remember, he gave him money. Like the whole thing was he was talking smack about him in a bar. Didn't know Mike Tyson was there. Mike Tyson says, you want a piece of me? And Mayweather gave him that briefcase he always carries around. Yep. He's like, let's call it good. Let's call it good. Nobody wants to get hit by him. So what would your amount be then, Jared?
I mean, look. If there was like, you can get hit by Mike right now, first I'd have to go through, I'd just cover like all my debt. I'm like, what do I got and how much to pay for school? So I'm saying, straight up, bare minimum, and it would have to be, what did he hit people with, left hook or right?
He's a righty.
Okay, he'd have to hit me with his left hand. Left hand, 100,000.
Yeah, he's a righty.
Yeah, I know he's a righty. I think he had a mean left hook, though.
I think he
had that mean left. No, well, his prime might have been different. I don't know. I'm sure it hurts like hell still. But hey, I can't argue with that, man. Get yourself set up for the rest of your life. Take one solid ass punch. Wake up an hour later.
I wouldn't remember it no way.
Yeah,
I just wake up. And I mean, even if I missed a couple of teeth, they can get that shit fixed.
Oh yeah,
a couple 100,000, I'll be good.
So you'd have to factor that into your cost there.
Yeah, just in case.
I'm counting my teeth in this too because I'm probably gonna lose some.
I got insurance. Fuck it, Mike. Hit me and get me paid tax free.
Tax free.
Oh, that's funny. I remember we used to talk about that stuff all the time. Different things.
The how much game?
The how much game?
Yeah.
It got bad.
How much would it cost? Some of those got real bad.
I have no morals.
No, you have morals.
I can be bought.
Yeah, you have morals. They just have a price to them.
I can be bought.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, I mean, taking a punch. What Tosh took a punch from Manny.
Right, he did. But okay, there's two things there though. Manny's a lot smaller. I'm not saying he's not. Those are some powerful ass punches, I guarantee. Mm-hmm. But he also didn't lay into him either. You could tell he kind of gave him just a little.
But still, it knocked him back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It knocked him back.
No offense to Todd, I love that dude. I love that comedian, seriously. But he doesn't look like the type. If Pacquiao really laid into him, I think he might still be recovering today. But he looks like he's like 6'2", $105.
Yeah, that's what wets, right?
Yeah.
There was the oldest player in the NFL that last played in 1975. He was 48 years old.
Dang, what did he play? Kicker or some shit.
Yeah, right? It's got to be something like that.
The oldest player in the NFL last played in 1975 at 48.
Not a
8 years older than the current oldest player right now in the NFL. So the current most oldest NFL player is 40.
Do we know who that is?
He's probably a kicker.
Yeah, it doesn't say what he did, though. Because that's huge, because there's no way running backs don't even last 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, that's...
No, I mean, figure what, like... even Terrell Davis. Remember Terrell Davis?
Short career.
Short career, man. I don't know. Like Emmitt Smith lasted a long time.
Yeah. I'd take it. I mean, look, I'd be a running back for 4 or 5 years. I'd take that. I mean, because if you're smart, you can parlay that into all kind of stuff, announcing and, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
front
look at
office
what's his name.
jobs.
Look at Tim Tebow. He didn't play that long, and now he's with the SEC network. And
Yeah, he's getting paid, dude.
Yeah,
he's
he's
probably
getting
making 6 figures sitting over there on,
I'm sure.
you know, doing the Jesus pose, getting paid. And he was garbage.
You know what I'm mad about right now, though, since we're talking about NFL and Dominic Sue? That's some bullshit. That he appeals it and gets he appeals it and he just has to pay $70,000.
My feet were numb.
Why are
He's
your
doing
feet
it.
numb?
That's what he said.
I don't even know.
He stepped on Aaron Rodgers. He was like blatantly stepping on Aaron Rodgers.
What was the fine though?
$70,000.
And that makes you mad?
Because they suspended him. They suspended him for a game, which meant he would have been playing against the Cowboys.
Right.
And so they suspended him for the game, and then he appealed it, and then he won the appeal, and then they gave him a $70,000 fine, which is still a lot because Dominic Sue is still on his rookie contract, which is, I think, his last year of his rookie contract, but I think they only got $385,000.
Sue has been criticized in the media and by other players for his aggressive style of play, and over the years has accumulated a fine totaling $216,000.
That's almost half of his salary.
That's ridiculous.
Do you think he's
that's
paying
old too? I don't
those
think
fines?
What?
Does he pay him?
Yeah, you think he's paying them?
Or his agent?
Or you think Lions ownership is
Lions,
anteing up their checks?
Probably. I think that happens a lot.
Yeah, because like I was saying, $70,000 is a lot because I think he's still on his rookie contract.
Yeah.
For sure. But still, I mean, dude, that's his like 5th incident since he's been playing.
Well, that's what I was just reading here. He's got a history for sure. It's interesting.
I think he plays with an edge. He definitely does.
Well, those guys are exciting. It's just like I was saying, watching Lyle Alzado was the same thing, and he was juicing too. I remember, pretty sure that dude was taking everything he could. Remember, he was taking he was one of the first guys to take human growth hormone. Was like taking it. They were taking stuff out of cadavers back then, and literally just injecting it right into your skin, like.
Oh God.
And then he got all kinds of sick and then died. But
that's because remember when we had Jose on. And he was talking about steroids and everything like that. You don't see any 40, 50-year-old juiced up bodybuilders.
Yeah,
it's true.
Because it affects their heart. You know, they go into cardiac arrest and everything when you've been steroiding and everything like that.
Would you guys ever try HGH? Anybody?
No. Have you?
Oh, no.
I'm afraid of needles. So.
Wouldn't have a reason. It's like I play guitar better.
So my exposed arm looks really nice when I'm playing the guitar. Why is Tony playing in a tank top?
I've never seen him in a tank top before. All of a sudden he's rocking a tank top. For real, moving on the tattoo, Jared. It's my birthday gift this year. My birthday, February 9th. Yeah. I'm going to start with the 3 turtles on my chest.
How big are we talking?
4 turtles, rather. Not that big. Just like this. It'll cover this, like all the turtles.
Like the size of like a CD?
No, a little smaller than that, probably. But the one I want to get that's going to be big is going to be the guitar on my right arm. That'll be later this year. And then probably the year after that, I want to get Redemption Song, the music, wrapped around my arm.
I'm going to be straight up with you. Anybody that ever says that tattoos don't hurt, they're fucking liars.
No, I'm expecting that. That. Everyone also says too, don't drink, don't get high, don't get yourself messed up.
You thin your blood out and you'll bleed out.
Yeah.
I have a couple drinks. I mean, when I went, I went yesterday and finished that half sleeve, and I had 3 or 4 shots about halfway through.
It doesn't make you bleed a lot, though.
No.
That's what they say.
I mean, because I wasn't like plastered. I had 3 shots over the course of like 3 hours, right? But the backside of your arm, like back towards your elbow, that is some sensitive meat. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when I got my chest here done, the collarbone.
I've heard that's really bad. Anything that's on bone is supposed to be super bad.
The collarbone, and then right under here, near my underarm, where the claw is, that hurt too because it's just sensitive. They said the most sensitive part for a guy is the back of your knee.
The back of your knee?
Yeah. For a guy.
I could see that for sure.
So, but no, that's what I've been doing. Facebook, I'm going to be getting another one too, but I'm going to do the
I saw that. Dude, your post on Facebook helped me a lot because I was looking at your buddy too, and I'm not so sure. I'm not sure who I'm going to go with yet, but I'm looking at a lot of different stuff. But I checked out all those artists that people mentioned in the comments and stuff on there. There's so many good artists out there, but what I'm trying to find is I want to find somebody who's done something similar to the stuff I'm looking for. You know what I mean? We'll
Well,
see.
that's the thing too. Yeah, not everybody specializes in everything. Everyone, specializes in different things. So
I might take your advice though.
It's true.
Because I'm a pansy when it comes to pain. I'm prepared for it. I know it's going to suck.
my arms aren't bad. When I got my arms done, it was just my shoulder.
Well, the thing with the arm, though, especially on this one, is I want it to go around the entire arm. So the inside's supposed to be like real painful,
Yeah.
right? That's coming down. This one should be nice, and I need to get in the gym though and do some bench press though, because the less bone they hit, the better. I think it's gonna be better.
When you flex, if you flex your man breast, the turtles will be hopping.
You're doing ninja
Hopping
flips
turtles.
on your chest.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's like when I got what's it called? Iocane. When I got my motorcycle accident, the road rash, and they were rubbing out the gravel in my arm and all that stuff. They put a topical cream on your arm that numbs your arm. And like when I was at the hospital and they were scrubbing my arm out like with a fucking brush, I kid you not. And this bitch was just in there, like grinding out bones, like not bones, but like taking out like gravel and rock and everything. And I'm just looking at her, staring at it.
And you
I'm
didn't
like,
feel it?
damn, I don't feel that shit. I was like, that would be amazing.
Wow,
if
can you
did it
imagine
for
being
tattoos.
an MMA fighter and just coating your whole body in that shit? Like, we've never seen anybody take a beating like
I've
this.
never seen this is his last fight, but amazing. Yeah, I don't know what it Iocane, something like that. But it's dude, numbed my entire arm up, and she was like I said, with a brush, with bristles, everything, just
Yeah. Well, thank God for that stuff, huh? How else would they get
oh
that
my
out
god,
of you?
yeah.
God. Because my mom had a real similar accident too when she was, God, she must have been early 30s or something. And this is back in Fresno. She was taking a walk, and one car rear-ended another car, but it kind of sent him spiraling off the road. And so the back end of the car just whacked into my mom. And the funny thing was my mom and dad were walking together, and it missed him completely. And he just kind of reached for her, and it sent her. She flew about 30 feet through the ground, or 30 feet through the air, hit the ground. She actually hit gravel and dirt.
Ugh.
And it's the same. To this day, she has stuff still stuck in her arm. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah,
man.
that's what. Like, I think I told you that the other a few weeks ago. I was like, yeah, what's
Still.
in my arm? I was like, yeah, it was like a little pimple. I was like, pop, and this little rock came out of my elbow.
Wow. Oh, my God, dude. That's
What was it,
insanity.
Dan Leahy,
Uh-huh.
when he got in his accident, he has that scar on his like chin and his lip there. He was saying that like recently, he had some glass that came through that from his
Really?
accident. Yeah,
It's funny how stuff will shift around inside your body like that
Sure.
over the years,
it's nuts.
Yeah, that's super crazy. I saw some video the other day of some dude that was doing that like super fast downhill skateboarding, and he like wiped out.
Oh no,
Dude, and it looks harmless when you see it, because you're like, whoa, it looks like the dude's on a fucking slip and slide. Like he's just cruising 60 miles belly down on the concrete. I didn't see what it looked like after, but I could only imagine, dude.
hopefully he had like gear on and shit. Jeez, dude.
I think it looked like he had some
Okay.
some knee pads.
Yeah.
What the fuck are knee pads going to do if you're doing slip and slide down a mountain at 65 miles an hour?
We watched this dude longboard. He was longboarding on this video. He's running like 60 miles an hour. Like, and they had
Ugh,
like,
they go fast.
dude, he was flying. Like, he was going so fast that they hit some of the corners. He'd have to turn the whole board sideways to break it. So he's got this longboard sideways to break, and then he snaps it back, and he gets
Yeah.
around a corner, a
Yeah,
blind corner, semis around the corner, and he has to just, dive real quick, and he goes off in the dirt, and all you see is him just fucking tumbling through the dirt. I know he got destroyed. And he had on a T-shirt, some long, like, man capri-looking things, and some skate shoes.
some board shorts.
Yeah, he's probably done.
Yeah, you don't know what happened to him, huh?
No, it
That's
just
insane.
cuts off after you watch him
God.
tumble.
Definitely wonder about people like that. There's some people with some balls, man. That's some crazy. I mean, they talk about the thrill. They get addicted to that adrenaline rush and all that stuff. But
Is that
the
balls or is that stupid?
yeah. Well, there's
If
a
you-
line
here,
somewhere.
Hold on.
There's
If you don't get paid for it, it's stupid.
It is stupid. Yeah, exactly.
If you ain't getting paid for it, it's stupid. If you're not getting paid for it,
That's
yeah.
balls.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It would take some balls to get punched in the face by Mike Tyson. Maybe about $100,000 worth
right.
or two. But if you're not doing it, if you're just doing it for
You
free,
do so you do it for $100,000?
There
get
we
hit
go.
by Mike
That's the amount.
Tyson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rub some of that topical cream on. So my skin is numb.
You probably would get drug tested. I mean, obviously, if you're just anybody, just like I'll take a punch for money.
Okay, wait. With gloves or without gloves?
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, for the 100,000?
I was just kind of assuming he didn't have gloves on.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
Damn, you are tough, Jared.
No,
not really. I'm just greedy.
he's not tough. He just has no. Remember, his morals can be bought. He's cheap. Cheap and easy.
Dude,
He's
think
cheap
about
and
it.
easy.
In like 3 seconds, I could make more than I'd make in 2 years.
That's hard to argue with that. It's some bang for your buck. literally bang for your buck. You get punched in the face. Oh man,
I'm thinking at least half. I mean, for me, for that.
What, $500,000? So for 500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, because medical expenses. I mean, I'm just assuming I'm gonna get knocked out. I guess I'm not guessing he's gonna break my face.
Yeah.
Just kind of hoping he doesn't.
Like, what was that Pacquiao versus the M? What's his name? Margarito.
Yeah.
He broke his eye orbital. Oh, and that fucker fought through it.
And the thing is, too, there's like not a fucking cast for
Yeah, there's
for that. You don't wear a head cast.
There's no cast for an eye orbital broken. Yeah, they don't.
How do you? I mean, you have to have surgery, right? They like set those in place, or what
That dude was a
happens?
beast. He was a beast. I never liked him. I thought he was a horrible fighter. But dude, the guy's chin was out of control. He probably gave 2 shits. He's like, yeah, I'll be okay. I mean, how do you have a broken eye orbital and you just keep fighting, keep getting hit in the same eye? Pow!
Well, we were watching. Keep on talking about MMA and everything like that. Me and Tyr were watching the UFC on Fox, and there was a fight going on. And dude, like when they were going and fighting, and he was like ready to go like punch, but he didn't have his fist closed all the way yet.
No.
And the other dude went to go punch him too, and they hit, and his finger said, and it bent his finger back, and it was dislocated. So clearly his finger was like this, like bent up and out.
So Mike's
the
doing
the ref was like, no, and he was like looking at it. He goes, no. He's like, it's fine. He was like this, like his hand was closed and his finger was like straight up bent like this.
Oh my god!
And he's like, no, it's fine. He still wanted to fight, dude.
Jesus. Mike's basically describing like if you were to hold your hand parallel, take the finger next to your middle finger and point it straight at the sky. That's about what the position his finger was in. That's intense. Yeah,
dude was like, don't stop the fight.
There's so much of that in fighting. I mean, there's obviously skill, and training and years of practice and dealing with potential situations, but there's a factor of heart in fighting that I don't know that you see it in every sport. I mean, some of those guys, it's just out of control. They'll just fight through anything. It's like a lot of them. I mean, not a lot of them, but there's a good number of people that they've gotten far simply based on heart.
Yeah,
being able to take a lick and keep on ticking.
Which is funny because you think about that as a regular everyday job people. And like I sometimes go to work and I'm like, I don't have the fucking heart.
I don't want to make this drive.
Isn't that funny? Some people are out there
Yeah,
their life on the line every time they go.
I don't want to drive. I don't want to sit in traffic for an hour.
Right.
I'd love to be an athlete.
Hey, we've talked about that before.
Of any kind. I mean, it would beat a desk job. I mean, what do you do for a living? I train. I basically work out for a living.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that aspect would be really cool. I thought about that for a little while because I went to massage school years ago, and I was trying to decide between that and going into like personal training too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm one of those people. I'm of the opinion that I know, when you make that decision, you know what you're getting into. So if I had the chance to, to go play football, would I probably take it? Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah.
There's no question because I mean, let's say if I last in the league, 5 years, and I get 2 concussions, maybe. I mean, probably be okay.
Depends on your position. That's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But if you can last that long and then you get the pension, and then after that, you can do some announcing. But really, all you're doing is traveling and lifting weights, working out, practicing.
Doesn't that kind of seem like that would be almost? I mean, I guess obviously I'm not a warrior type, but I'm like that would be even better. Like that would be the best part of your career is when you're done. You're done. You walk away, then you could do commentating, and you're set up for life. You're invested in sports and part of sports the rest of your life. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys too aren't they're not the kind of guys that a network's going to hire, to go.
Probably a small percentage. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, coaching too. Then you go into coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Who's not going to take you if you were an NFL football player to go coach somewhere?
And it depends too, because there's some guys that just are stupid. Some of them are just dumb.
Yeah. There's a girl that I work with right now, and she was talking about. I think did I tell you this, Tony? She said that if she ever has kids, she's going to train them to be a kicker. a place kicker.
Smart.
To be a place kicker because it's like not a competitive super competitive
Go in and
job.
dominate because you've been training your whole life.
To be a place kicker, just kick field goals and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah,
And just
yeah.
think about it. You don't get injured, often. And if you do get injured, it's probably like a pulled groin from trying to kick it, something like that,
Yeah.
But, you're making, if you're a good kicker, you're making good money. Even that, just
Good
league
place
minimum.
kicker,
I think,
or yeah.
what your rookie contracts are like $400,000.
It's a lot of money.
was that right?
And then you're like, after that, you're a veteran after your rookie contract. And I think veterans get $800,000.
a lot, dude?
And so even if you're good, you can make up to the millions on stuff like that. So she was just like, I'm going to just have my kid trained to be a kicker.
It's a brilliant idea.
It is not a bad idea
The
at all.
dude that the Broncos cut, I cannot think of his name, but the guy that they cut right before the year,
Yeah.
that guy was scheduled to make $4 million this year kicking footballs.
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
You better get Jaden on that kicking footballs. Jaden's like, I want to play quarterback. No.
Yeah. He's supposed to be playing basketball right now. I've got him on the waiting list. I goofed around, waited too long to get him signed up, so we may have to look for another league. And then he's moving to soccer in June or something like that. And that one, we got plenty of time, but
If you want, at all the sports, I think soccer, he'd be traveling around the world.
he's all of a
was
sudden really
professional
excited. I tried to get him to play
athlete.
soccer when he was younger, and he wasn't into it at all. And now he's super excited because I was telling you guys all his friends at school are all super into soccer.
Soccer players make bank. So do
Yeah.
baseball players.
And I feel like, particularly cardio-wise, like soccer players and basketball players are some of the most in-shape people on the planet.
Soccer and hockey, I feel, are the most conditioned.
That's what Joe was saying about
Soccer
hockey.
and hockey
Yeah.
are the most conditioned. So you think about it, like soccer, that field is twice the football field,
Right.
and they're running all the
In
time.
both
you get,
directions.
You get one you get substitutions, like so many substitutions a game,
Yeah, I know.
and that's it. Otherwise, you're just running up and down that big ass field for
Yeah.
90 minutes.
Yeah, and you got to have that gas too because you've been running around. You're exhausted. Oh, you got a shot!
Oh, breakaway! You
Yeah.
know, that's the same with hockey. You're on the, there's no fat hockey players.
No,
Football, there's some big linemen, fat linemen. I mean, still
Different
they're
positions.
conditioned to a point. But baseball, like pitchers, come on, for real.
Great job.
baseball's one of the funny ones, huh?
Outfield, great
Think
job.
about yeah. So some of those guys don't have to work out at all.
I'm telling you, if I was a baseball player, I would straight up just take it back to the major league days. I'd be like Willie Mays Hayes. I get that bubble gum and I'd walk out. The fans are sitting on the outfield. I give them wear my chain and everything. Oh my god.
Just be like Serrano.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh my god!
I just
Back
stand out there
angry.
and tan.
That's funny. I don't know. What do we think about so football playoffs now? It's just us three dudes in here. What are we thinking? Who's going to win? So right now, 14-10, just so you know, Arizona over Carolina. Who's going to win this game? What are you guys' thoughts on this one?
I had Carolina.
What's the score right now?
14-10 Arizona.
Yep.
Second quarter.
And you had Carolina? you
Yeah,
said?
and Cardinals don't have a quarterback. But
But the defense is dope. I was going to say Arizona for this one, for sure.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with Arizona on this one too.
And so next we have Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
no Le'Veon Bell.
If Le'Veon Bell was in there, I was going to say Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's
But
probably true.
But still, you know what? I think Roethlisberger, as much as I don't like him, I think Roethlisberger is a better quarterback than Flacco.
Are we in Pittsburgh or Baltimore?
Ooh.
I think they're in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're in Pittsburgh.
They're in Pittsburgh. I got Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I say
I
Pittsburgh,
like Pittsburgh
too.
still. I think Baltimore they've taken some hits. Yeah.
Well, they barely got in there too.
Yeah, they did. They squeaked.
Yeah.
Squawked in. That's
Squawked in.
Squawked
There you go. You got the Tony bug. You got the Tony bug. Except he didn't say anything this time. It was you. And then
Don't jinx me, shit.
tomorrow, guys, come on.
I got Colts, Bengals,
Colts, Bengals.
Lions, Cowboys.
Who's going to win the
Colts,
Colts,
Cowboys.
Bengals?
I got Colts and the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Colts beat the Bengals, and I think the Cowboys beat the Lions.
All right.
Yep.
That's what I'm going with, too. That's what I said. It's going to be the Cowboys, Packers. The Cowboys are undefeated on
Right,
the
now
road.
that's going to be the big one. If let's
and-
say that we get to that point, what do you think?
Cowboys are undefeated
Packers.
on the road.
Do
They
have
beat
to,
Seattle in Seattle.
They have to go into Lambeau Field.
Yep.
I hate the Packers. So I'm going to root for the Cowboys.
I think they can do it.
Oh yeah, of course. I hate the Packers too. That's one of our arch nemesis. They beat the shit out of us every time. It feels like.
Like I said, you guys, Mark Cuban said Broncos Cowboys Super Bowl.
Denver's not gonna make the Super Bowl.
You don't think so?
No, I mean I'm a Denver fan, and I should say I'll make that with the prefix that if Denver will make the Super Bowl if Peyton Manning figures out or whatever's wrong with him is just done.
It's not wrong. It's just their game plan changed. They went to running.
They're running the ball, but I mean that shit has no zip on it. It has no velocity.
It looks like
it doesn't look like those passes where some of the picks that he's thrown. Those are normally the passes that I'd say those are
they have
complete.
no spiral to them. They're all wobbly. Yeah.
They're wobbly and they're just really slow. I mean, they give the defender time to break on the ball, and if that happens, if we go to New England and play like that, it's over. And he doesn't play well in New England or in the cold, so it's not good for us.
I wanted to ask those guys too, because remember when Dom Impey was here, and him and Mark both kind of piped in saying, "Oh, that's not true. It's not true they can't play in cold weather." But I think they've cited the statistics on that a few times. So what is that? I meant to ask him. I wanted to ask him.
Well, you figure,
I mean, it's not true.
Most of his career,
he's in a dome.
Was in a dome. He was in Indianapolis,
right?
Yep. Lucas Oil Field.
And any time, pretty much, that he played in Foxborough in cold weather, he lost. He loses. If it's in cold weather, Manning does not play well. Look at the Bengals game.
Yeah.
It was cold, it was rainy, and he was terrible.
Yeah, rating of 61.8 in that game.
I mean, so, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
That's what Mark Cuban said, though. Cowboys-Broncos Super Bowl.
I think we're going to see a Cowboys-Patriots Super Bowl. And as much as I say, I mean, we already know from podcast 1 or 2, I already told you I hate Tom Brady. Fuck Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Go Tony Romo. Go Tony Romo.
He takes a lot of shit, man. Tony Romo.
He does.
What do you think as a Cowboys fan? Is it rightful? Is it that he takes? Do you think he takes too much shit, or do you think it's warranted?
I think it's warranted based on his performance. And
yeah.
Everyone's always saying it's like, don't blame Tony Romo. Nobody else does goddamn interceptions.
At bad times.
You sound like me defending Cutler for a long time, and then it gets to a point where
let's
there's
talk about that, dude. You guys don't have a coach yet.
Nope, no GM yet.
No GM. Like the thing about freaking the Bears, dude. Like they benched their multi-million-dollar quarterback.
Yeah, he came back the next week.
Well, because Clausen got hurt. He got that concussion.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But otherwise, Jimmy Clausen would have been playing. But I've thought from the very beginning, Jay Cutler has a strong arm. He's just not smart.
Nope.
He's not a smart quarterback.
He's got a cannon, man.
Do you think it's a matter of him not being a smart football player, or do you think it's a matter of he makes poor decisions under pressure?
Both.
It's not a smart football player.
That's one. That goes
I don't know.
hand in hand.
The hand in hand, but it's not one and the same for sure. Because I feel like he's a pretty smart quarterback. I mean, there are times when, I guess he's a ballsy quarterback. He's always been that way. Because I can remember in past years, there's definitely times where everyone's hating on him, and then he has a game where he just has this crazy high rating, and he throws like 3-4 bombs, and they're all touchdowns, and we win the game authoritatively. But he's always had injuries from the time we got him. He's always struggled with injuries. When they re-signed him, there were so many of us, especially Bears fans, that were just going, what the hell are we doing? This guy's in his 30s. He's inconsistent. Right? You're going to pay him how much? Like, are you crazy? And then, all that came to full fruition, and then they let the GM go. You're like, he probably should have been let go a long time ago.
Before that contract.
they let Lovie Smith go after a 10-6 season. Like, I don't know.
He reminds me of Eeyore.
Who?
Jay Cutler.
There's a smug ass look in his face.
Like he just always has that fucking jerk face. He's just like, oh man, I don't know. I just hate my life. Married to Kristen Cavallari. I'm a quarterback.
Well, dude, when I worked at the clubs when he was here, when he was a rookie, when they came down, him and Brandon Marshall. I remember stopping Brandon Marshall at the club. It was called the Monarch at the time. And Brandon Marshall comes up, and I was working the door, and I was like, did the whole hand up for the ID. I'm like, ID. He's like, what? He goes,
oh, you told me about this.
He goes, I need an ID for real. And I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm Brandon Marshall. He's like, I'm that. He's like, I'm Brandon Marshall. I was like, okay. And
when was this?
Like, this is when he first started here, when he was a rookie.
Wow.
And I was sitting there, and it was, he was like, Brandon Marshall. He goes, will my NFL players card work? Because they all have like an individual, like they have a players card that looks like a credit card essentially. And he was like, will my NFL players card work? And I was like, is it a government issued ID? He's all, and Al Wilson is actually sitting on the him and Gerard Warren at the time. They're sitting on the outside patio, and they're like, "Big Mike, give the rookie a break, Big Mike."
Big Al said that to you?
Yeah, Al Wilson. He was like, "Give
Al.
him a break, Mike."
I like Big Al.
And I was like, "All right, Al, let him in, dude."
Shouts
And then,
out.
That's hilarious.
But then him and fucking Jay Cutler, they always hung out together. And Jay Cutler
Yeah,
is
they're
drunk. Dude, just drunk.
I'm not surprised.
He
always looks disheveled. And he's always a little overweight at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he
I'm not
reminds me
surprised.
of just like a typical, very well-off frat boy. Just kind of like whatever.
Yeah, he's played 9 seasons now.
Yeah.
He's 31 years old. I don't know. He's had some decent seasons, some bad seasons. In all his years playing, he's never had a quarterback rating over 90%.
Jeez.
For the money he's making, you kind of got to look at that. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he plays for the Bears because
You're a Vikings fan.
Because of that, I want to bet. Thank you, Jay Cutler.
Yeah, we evened up this year, right?
Yeah, we broke out 1-1, baby.
Yeah, 1-1 this year.
Last
So who
year
owes me the
swept
beer?
me.
Tony owes
I
me the
still
beer.
owe you
Still
beer. Yeah. Murphy's Irish. Is that what you want?
Murphy's Irish Stout.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got.
I
I'll
can.
hook you up.
Cold too.
What did we bet on? I can't even remember now.
It was the
It was a
Bears
game.
at first.
Bears Cowboys.
Bears
game.
Cowboys. At first,
Yeah.
we were doing the dress. But then
Yeah, I
we were
didn't
like,
wanna
I
do
don't want
that.
to wear a dress.
No.
Because Tony was already anticipating he was going to wear a dress.
And I was right. I didn't really want to bet, but it became public through the podcast. And I was like, oh, I can't back down. Got to do it. I'm not a big bettor, man. Gambling's not my thing. I think I've told you both the story.
Well, obviously, I mean, you keep on betting with Jared.
Because I'm friends. I never bring it up. You'll never be like, hey, you never hear me say, hey, let's bet on this. But I'll go along with it a lot of times if the stakes are small enough. But I was telling Jared, I think I told you this too, when I was a kid, I was 5 years old and it was Christmas. And somehow I'd got like a bunch of nickels. I had a whole bunch of nickels. I don't remember if I got a lot of them for Christmas or what. But my uncle said, here, let's flip for it. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, it's gambling. See, we'll flip the coin and you call it. And then if you get it right, you keep your coin. If I get it right, I keep it. Not even realizing like I've got all the money. This is I'm just basically just throwing all my money up there to see if I can give it all to you or not. And I don't know to this day I don't know what my uncle did, but he took every single one of my nickels. I guessed every single one incorrectly, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I never been into gambling after that. I was like, I got all these nickels now. Now I don't have no nickels. Like, I think about that. I'm like, I got money in my pocket. It's my money. It's a set amount. I know how much it is. Now I could maybe have more, or I could maybe have nothing. I think I'll just keep
I'll
what
just
I
keep
got.
the money I have.
Yeah.
No, when I worked at King Supers here when I was like in high school, there was a guy who was like a autistic special needs guy that worked at King Supers, and this guy could call the flip every single time. Like his brain, like autistic people, they're something about it. They see things differently. They analyze things different. Something like that. They're just like geniuses.
Was he calling it in the air?
You flipped the coin and he would see it right before it hit. Before he grabbed it and flipped it over, he would call it 100% of the time.
You
would
witnessed
see-
this?
Yeah, he would see it all the
What?
time. Just pshing. He carried a rack of keys with him. Every time he found a key, he put it on a key ring.
He's into keys.
And so it looked like he was like a prison, like a ward, or like he was like the prison, like he controlled all the keys for every prison. He's the key master. But he had keys all the time. But the dude was just like he can see things. Like he was like, ching, the coin went, and he's like, chow.
That's bizarre.
He's all
I've heard a
heads.
lot of crazy things about people who are autistic, but I've never heard something like that where they could just spot the coin that quickly and know exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
it's just they're the way their brain works. It's just different. They were saying like I remember when I was in high school and they were talking about autism. I was saying like some people are just like they can look at the picture of Bob Marley and then zoop, look at a piece of paper and just draw it, and then perfect Bob Marley picture from the picture. And it looked like it was exact.
Yeah, right. I've seen stuff like that.
And there was
before.
like things like
They
the
have
kid saw
extremely photographic memories.
Yeah, and there was a kid that was like autistic too, and he saw like the picture of like Big Ben and the Royal Palace and stuff like that, and he just looked at the picture for a second, and piece of paper with the pencil started drawing it, and it was like exact to what the picture was. And so it's just the way their brain processes information, and and does it, but at the same time, it's sometimes you sacrifice like social skills.
Yeah,
or
social
stuff like
development
that.
and
Yeah.
communication and stuff like that. They communicate in sort of different ways,
Yeah.
and they do think in pictures a lot and stuff. What was that movie?
Rain Man.
Rain Man.
No, not Rain Man. The other one. I want to say it was Cameron Diaz or something that played it. I don't know if it was or not. I'll have to look it up. I can't remember what it was, but it was a really great movie. I enjoyed the hell of it. It was about this chick, a famous chick she was autistic too.
Now you gotta look it up.
Yeah, can't help it. Yeah, Rain Man's the first one that comes up.
Yeah.
Oh, Temple Grandin was the girl's name. Did you guys never see this?
Mm-mm.
She was a real person. This is I kind of
Well, Rain Man's a real person too.
right. That's
Like
true.
based on true story.
No, he was a real person.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, have you ever seen that shit, like, based on a true story? Like, they, like, exaggerate some of those things. Like, it's based on a true story. Like, for instance, like, like, based on a true story, Tony went to the grocery store. But then, like, the story is like, Tony went to the grocery store and ninjas got all over his fucking truck and tried to take over his truck. But Tony got to the store, bought his fucking milk, and then on the way back, the ninjas were still there, and Tony had to defeat all the ninjas and get home. You know,
Yeah.
it's based on a true story because you did go to the fucking grocery store.
Right. Real quick, by the way, it was Claire Danes. Temple Grandin came out in 2010. She was like, it was a pretty cool movie. You guys should check it out if you get a chance. But yeah, that line has become real blurry, hasn't it? Like people have they really take artistic,
inspired by true events.
yeah, and they take like basic stuff, and then Joe Rogan was talking about was it the JFK movie or something where they just made this whole guy up. Like it was pretty much based on what happened, except they interjected this one character in the story that had all this extra information and talked about it being a conspiracy and who was involved and stuff. And you're like, you shouldn't be able to, based on a true story, loosely. We added our own
Shit, fucking Transformers is based on a true story because the animation really happened.
That's a stretch.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I just watched the last Transformers yesterday. It was good.
I haven't seen
Was
it
it?
yet.
Right,
That's
I haven't
Mark,
seen it either.
Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah.
I did finally
Extinction.
watch Ninja Turtles.
You like it?
Which
I
one?
was mad.
The new ones.
story.
It's whack.
Storyline.
What are you mad about the story?
I was mad about the story because they were saying that they were created
Oh,
for a reason.
They got pretty liberal with it.
you
yeah.
know, and what the other story was, it was, Master Splinter was, the pet of Amato Yoshi.
Right, that's how he learned by watching.
that's how he
Yeah, they
learned.
definitely
Just the
changed some
skills.
plot stuff.
And then in the movie now, the
Did you like it, Jared?
The
No.
re-up.
I didn't dislike it, but
I
the
didn't-
other ones, the
yeah.
original ones, were way better.
We just watched it again, man. We watch that all the time. We watched the first
Yeah,
one.
dude. The first
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
and then
All of them.
Ninja Rap. Come on.
Yeah, Vanilla
Go
Ice.
ninja, go ninja.
Go
Yeah.
ninja, go ninja, go.
Yeah.
That's
And then I also watched
Yeah.
the fucking interview.
That's what you're saying.
That shit is
your
hilarious.
shit's about to get hacked.
Yeah, don't say it on the podcast. Are you crazy?
Pierce, Pierce, just in case you
Yeah.
Koreans listen. Oh,
So, but it
actually,
was-
damn it, we did have a few downloads from Korea.
What?
That's
Fuck, I'm
right.
screwed.
Oh,
Are you serious? You serious?
Yeah,
Yeah, we did. We did.
Korea,
just a few.
Germany.
His Xbox Live is DUKE
Asshole.
Blue Devil.
Look at this
Okay.
guy.
asshole.
Do not turn my shit off again.
Duke Blue Devil, but you'd have to. It's spelled really differently. So.
You friend me and I'll send it to you.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Because I know before we talked about it on the podcast, and you were kind of the opinion of that's bullshit that they're not going to release it and do the Christmas thing and all that. Like
Yeah.
we're just succumbing to it. And remember, I was saying, how sure are we that it's North Korea in the first place?
Yeah.
And, well, Barack Obama said so and all this stuff, but we don't really know. It's looking less and less like it was then.
Well, the thing is, they still released it, and then like even on top of that, they released it. Like I watched it from my house on demand through Comcast.
He gonna go home. His light's gonna be off.
No, I don't have Comcast. I don't have Comcast Home, so my internet and cable will just be off. That's it.
Yeah, but it was good though, huh?
It was fucking funny, dude. It was really
Worth
funny.
seeing. I'll have to see it.
And like James Frank, basically it was almost like a different plot, but it was like Pineapple Express 2. Have you ever seen Pineapple Express?
Yeah,
That was
I would.
fucking
I
funny,
can.
too.
I kind of suspected it would be something like that.
But it was funny still. It was just
They did huge because they didn't. A lot of theaters banned it or whatever because they didn't want to take the risk.
Well, they still release it in a lot of theaters too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but because of that, they just they broke tons of records for downloads.
Yeah,
like in the first few days, they had like 3 million downloads or something crazy.
And a part of me feels like it was like internal. Like Sony was like
a big promotional
scheme, yeah, so they can have all these downloads and all these buys, and everything like that.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but do you doubt any of that stuff happens all the time now?
No.
I mean,
no, not at all.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either.
I mean, shit. What this year? What was it? Was it the 5th anniversary?
Of what?
5th anniversary of Bubble Boy.
I remember
shit,
that movie.
It was, right? Remember Bubble Boy?
Yeah, I totally remember what 5th anniversary. Why are people still celebrating the anniversary?
Well, I was just saying, it was like, that was a thing because they were trying to promote a reality TV show. That's what the whole thing was.
That's why they did the whole hoax.
Yeah, the whole hoax. Stuff like that. And I remember too, because wasn't that the same year Michael Jackson died?
Yep.
It was the same year Michael Jackson died. And it was like a whole big old thing. I remember I was working at the first school we were all at. And it was a big old thing, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, look at that thing!" And I'm like, I'm watching it on 9 News, and I'm like, "That thing is fucking traveling fast. Ain't no way the little kid is in that little that thing." I'm like, "Oh hell, that kid dropped off somewhere." That's what I thought. I didn't think it was fake at first. I just thought at some point in time that little kid fell out because that balloon was going fast.
I was just waiting for that shit to pop and watch his ass fall. I was like, "Ooh, if he's in there and it pops, he gonna fall." That would have been bad news.
But just the general concern that everybody had, it was a real thing, like when you saw that the weather balloon fall down and hit the ground in that field, that farm,
right?
You saw people run, the paramedics and the fire department, they were running to this bubble. You're like, "Oh my God, this kid's in trouble." And no wonder, they got he got. I think did he do? He did prison time, and they got a fine.
Yeah.
The dad got a prison fine. They did a fine, and now they're like a metal band. Do you know that?
The kids
right? I think it was you that showed that to me. Yeah,
they're like a metal band. There's the 3 sons. Falcon is the one that was in the bubble, supposedly the weather balloon. But now they're like a metal band out of Florida, and one of their songs is "Bubble Boy, Not a Hoax." Oh my God!
I saw that.
Terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible. They got some good equipment though. The sound quality sounded pretty decent. I was thinking, these guys.
That's the musician in you.
Yes.
You're like, "Oh no, damn, this
pretty
really
good
sucks,"
technically.
but it sounds really good.
Yeah, I know it was a horrible song for sure.
We're talking about downloads, right?
Yeah.
So you actually Mike turned you on, and you turned me on. That sounds so fucked up.
Yeah, where are you going with this?
Yo, we're about to get.
We're
freaky.
amongst friends here. We're amongst friends.
Cheers.
Here's to being turned on for the first time in 2015. We were talking actually about Serial, the podcast Serial. They hit 40 million downloads.
Dude, I loved that podcast.
That was good.
So did everybody else, obviously.
Yeah, no, it was huge. I had several people telling me. You were one of the ones telling me to check it out, Mike.
It was just you got hooked on it. You were just like.
So I told
happened?
Jared that morning. I was like, dude, I'm 3 minutes in. I'm totally hooked.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. I was a little disappointed in the ending, but I kind of blame myself. What was I expecting? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, when you
magically he's free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't be a spoiler, Mike. Maybe some people haven't listened to it yet. But you did get that feeling. You got the feeling there was going to be some crazy resolution,
Well, and then she was saying, is there an ending to this? Yes, there is an ending. And you're like, you listen to the last episode, you're like,
no,
there's not.
No, there's not.
Yeah, and it was she didn't realize it the last minute too. And for those of you who haven't listened, I'm sorry, you need to listen. You got to find this. It's
the most downloaded podcast in history.
Yeah.
First blockbuster podcast.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. Pretty cool idea. She found this it was a murder case from 1999, right?
Yeah.
And started just kind of retracing the steps because there was a lot of
Sayed and then
Hayman.
Yeah.
And they're all real people. I'm sure we all have. That's the funny thing about it is I'm sure we all got on Wikipedia, looked up some of these people, looked up some of the stuff because you get so curious.
You know how long I didn't Google that though? Because I didn't want to know. Because I didn't want to know if there was anything going on right now.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't Google Anad Sayed or anything like that.
Yeah.
Sayed. Because I didn't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
I Googled images because I wanted to see his face.
Because they were saying he was handsome, so on and so forth. He was very charismatic and everything like that. And I was like,
I needed to see for myself.
Yeah. Well, and the funny part too is how different he looks now back then, and it's so crazy to think about how many years that dude spent in jail now. Because you see the pictures at the time, and he looked like any.
Years?
Yeah, he looked like any 15. How old was he? 16 or whatever.
Yep.
16 years old. He just looked like a 16-year-old kid, and now he's just like big prison rip dude. Been in there for so many years. Like I can't even imagine. And the crazy thing about him, that was one of the most remarkable things about the story, was him and his personality and like sort of his positivity and his kind of acceptance of his situation, which puts, always made it so
still.
Well, kind of. Sometimes you're thinking, well, this guy's too good of a guy, and other times you're thinking, oh, that's the perfect genius move kind of thing. So I don't know. What do you guys have an opinion? Do you think he? It's so hard. We have so little information from as far away as we are. But do you think?
Well,
do you
they
think
had
he
like
did it?
that DNA that they're retesting, but like, yeah,
Yeah, that was part of his new appeal, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Right.
done this month.
Yeah, and that's not part of the podcast. That all happened after.
yeah,
As a result, I think, of the podcast actually.
yeah. Well, because of her investigations, and
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what spawned it off. Yeah,
I don't know, man. I think that the main thing that just crushes me, even to this day, is if Jay is lying, right? If he's lying, how did he know, like, where Hayes' car was? And why would he just make this story up? The only thing I could come to was that we know that Adnan was good friends with Stephanie, right? Jay's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that he was jealous.
So there was motive for Jay.
And that was where I was thinking that's Jay's motive. And I thought, maybe Stephanie knows too, because she refused hardcore to never be contacted about this, because maybe she knew. Maybe she knew.
yeah.
But we will never know. So,
There were so many weird things.
oh, man.
Yeah. Go and listen to it if you haven't downloaded and listened to Serial. We're promoting it, and they're not paying us shit for it either. But they're going to make another one. She's trying to raise funds, I think, to do another.
They already
one this
did.
year.
There is enough funds.
Did they
to
make
do
enough?
another,
So they're
but
gonna-
it's a different story,
Of course, yeah.
supposedly, and I don't know when it's supposed to come out.
I
but yeah.
donated $10.
Did you really?
Yeah, man. I wanted
Right on,
him. I
buddy.
wanted him to bring it. I wanted him to keep doing it. That was
Yeah,
good.
I should donate too.
It was good.
You
Yeah.
can also donate to Mike and. No, I'm just.
Yeah, according to Mike and Tony, you can send it. Let me give out my address. No, I don't want to do that, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be a bad move.
You about to get hacked.
Apparently, everybody has my address now. now that I watched the interview.
working.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could donate though, for real.
No, I think I would. I will. I probably don't need to at this point because I already got this.
No, I mean, like, they could donate. People could donate to you guys.
It's not a bad idea.
Whiskey fund?
Whiskey
The whiskey
fund.
fund.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking about doing?
we need more alcohol.
I was thinking of looking into getting some local sponsors, like finding like like going down to Dry Dock. I love that brewery down in Aurora.
Yeah.
Talk to them if you're listening, Dry Dock. Hit us up. All we ask for is a 12 a week.
Dry Dock Amber Ale. Delicious.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a plug.
it is actually.
That's
Yeah.
a plug.
Well, we have Joe Dub.
It's a plug.
We have Joe Dub coming here on the 23rd,
Brewmaster.
and he's won awards. He has his beer featured in restaurants right now, like a couple of restaurants.
Really?
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
So, but he'll be on here the 23rd.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions for that guy. I've been curious about how they do all that stuff. We've known a couple people. Remember, we used to work with a girl whose husband did that too. Remember, Jared?
Jen Getty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Garage Works Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Garage Works
Yeah.
Brewing Company. All right.
Yeah.
A little plug there.
They have good beer.
Yeah, for sure. It's good stuff. It's an interesting hobby to get into, but people get into it, And I'm
Yeah.
thankful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you drink your beer now.
Yeah, right? I'm
A
actually
Dry Dock.
drinking a Dry Dock Amber Ale at this moment.
But seriously, anybody, we're being a little bit selfish right here. If anybody wants to promote us,
Yeah, hell yeah.
feature you on
Reach
our-
out to us. Mike and Tony Show at gmail.com. Thanks for those of you who have emailed us. Keep them coming.
yeah, for
Good
sure.
stuff.
Questions, if you have any like suggestions, or if you guys have like
Yeah.
something that you guys think is like a good guest that maybe you can check out. Again, we try to stay music focused, but obviously we've
Yeah.
had people outside of the realm of music. But
What this podcast is really about is getting together and shooting the shit. I mean, that's kind of what this comes down to. We have as many interesting people as we can.
yeah.
Yeah, send us money. Based on that argument, that was a great sell there, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, but yeah, in all seriousness, I mean, as we get more, we'll probably, I'll be working on our website here in the next week or so.
To have our own.com, right?
Our own.com. Because this is like we said, we're pretty humbled on how big this has actually turned out for us. Like,
yes, it's moving along,
we
man.
didn't think it was going to be as awesome as it's been, and again, we thank all the.
I don't know if it's awesome. People are downloading it though.
It's awesome.
But
Coming
I
straight
mean,
from
awesome
Bruce
from
Leroy.
us on our side. I love doing this,
Dude, me too. I do.
You know, yeah.
This week we don't even have a guest. Our guest didn't make it through. It's like still exciting just
Yeah.
to get together, have a couple beers, shoot the shit.
Hang out,
Yeah.
hang out.
Drink some dry dock.
Drink some dry dock. Yeah. I'll refer him to this episode. Check out episode 8.
Episode 8 in particular.
In particular, we mentioned you 76 times. Free. That's free.
That's free. You're welcome.
You're welcome. We'll just take a 6.
We have worldly downloads, just so you know. Worldly
Yeah,
downloads.
that's funny. That's what's crazy about the internet, man. You set out and you put something on the internet, you just don't know. You're putting it out there for anybody to find, and we literally do have people from Korea downloading. So
Korea,
Yeah.
Germany. What is it?
There's a bunch.
England.
There's probably 7 or 8.
I mean, England is like a generalized. Great
Countries.
Britain, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's any of those British girls, if you want to holler at me.
I have never heard Bruce Leroy's British accent before.
Hey, I don't know how they talk over there, but I'd love to holler at a British chick.
Right?
London.
You know who's a hot
accent.
British chick is the one from She's Out of My League.
Yes.
Oh, she has 2 different colored eyes.
God.
The blonde chick. Oh my god! But you know what? I don't know why. I think I'm weird, and I didn't even know this about myself. But in the movie, she's totally American with a regular American accent. You can't even tell. And then I saw her in an interview, and she had the British accent. And it killed it for me.
Yeah.
I was like,
She's fine.
Yeah, she is.
Well, it always jacks you up too. Like if you like singers, you know, for example, music. Like you listen to people, you like, you know, when the first time we heard Rihanna speak, I was like, God damn. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know what that was. That's like,
Yeah, there's a real difference between singing voice
Keith
and
Urban.
talking voice.
for example, Keith Urban,
Yeah.
fucking Australian, sings country, and you listen to his music, you're like, oh, damn, like I was like, damn, that's a down to earth redneck right there.
Isn't that funny? I've always thought.
And then he's like, Keith Urban's like, no worries, I'm married to Nicole Kidman.
So bizarre. That was a good
Another
Australian.
Australian.
Every time I try to do an Australian, it comes out in British. Another one's Iggy Azalea, man. The way the way she sounds when she raps is nothing like how
White
she
chicks?
talks.
Dude, she looks like
Seriously.
one of those women from White Chicks.
does.
Like Snoop
Snoop
blew her up
Dogg, yeah.
so bad.
Oh, he did. I know.
Oh, and then she got all mad. She's like, that's so mean and hurtful. It's fucking true.
Yeah, Eminem got on it too.
Yeah.
He said something to him. Yeah, well, to me, it's one of those things, and I've been kind of hearing this. I haven't seen any stories or actual anything I can validate, but you're hearing a lot of that about Iggy Azalea. That she was one of those. It was like a boy band concept where they basically just took this chick and said, "Hey, we're going to make you into an straight up urban rapper, and you're going to be huge."
I don't like her voice.
Yeah. You know what
rap voice?
always blows my mind,
Yeah.
kind of going back to the accents.
Mm-hmm.
When I first watched the movie Snatch, I don't know if anybody's
Yeah.
seen that
Oh,
with
yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what fucking blew my mind? Black people with English accents. I was like, what the fuck?
You need to get out more, Mike. It happens.
What the fuck? I was like,
Shit's
man.
rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Idris Elba. He's
Yeah.
black dude.
Is it rare though? I'm sure there's plenty of black.
Well, I mean,
dudes
yeah,
in
there's a lot of black people in everywhere.
England or
I mean,
whatever.
not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
here or there. You know, there's black people in Hawaii. There's black people in, you know, Iceland.
There's black
you know?
people right here in the studio, like right now.
I was watching that, that Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmerman, and they were down
Oh,
south
yeah.
in this factory for those pork rinds.
Uh-huh.
And it was an Asian factory that cooks pork rinds using Asian recipe. And the owner's son, he's like 35 years old, big ass Asian dude. He looks like Tong Po from Kickboxing, right? And he's fucking straight, deep South redneck accent.
Oh, how bizarre!
What?
Man.
That'll throw you for a loop.
Jeez,
That'll
dude.
throw you for a loop.
Well, there's like on the cooking channel, there's that Asian that has the British accent too, and you're like, what the hell just happened? That's like me if like you saw me and I was like a brown ass, big ass Mexican dude, and
Right.
and you saw me and I was like, don't you worry about a thing.
Irish.
How you doing?
Worry about a ting there.
Don't you worry about a thing, mate. Nothing to worry about. It's nothing to worry about.
I'm fucking
Say
worried
magically-
about
say magically
this
delicious.
Mexican
It's
Irish
magically-
dude.
Mexican Irish dude. It's magically delicious.
Don't they have the same colors in their flag? Ireland and Mexico. I
Does
think
it?
so. I think so. I feel like
Man, I should be a Mexican Irish.
I heard that
Don't
about
worry about
Irish
a thing.
chicks, though.
You heard what?
I heard that about Irish chicks. They're magically delicious.
Say it, Mike. Magically.
It's magically delicious. Don't worry about a thing.
Yeah, they are the same. In fact,
I think my like Irish, my Australian, and my Russian, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Remember when we did the Russian prank on that girl at work? You remember that, Tony?
Oh, dude, that's classic. That was, oh my God, you should tell the story about that.
Well, the girl worked in, the registrar's office. Obviously we worked for the school, and called up talking about transcripts and how I wanted to start soon, and it was just the whole thing. He did the whole Russian accent. It was like, yes, look for registrar records.
He was messing with this chick so bad.
Yes, studied much communications. Dude,
we were
Moscow University.
What's mind blowing to me is how you were able to keep it going and keep it straight. Like, oh, that could have never
in the
done
next fucking room too. She was on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, she just went with it. That was pretty good.
And it was like you sound very attractive for American.
Yeah, that's right.
I would like to treat you to dinner.
Yeah, she was like, wait, I'm sorry. What did you say? Like, what? She was so confused.
I held it together until you started pretending that you lived with your Russian mother.
Oh my God! Yeah, remember that?
Yeah. How could I forget
He was like,
that?
Mama, how do you go, Sora? Nada. I am sorry. My mother would also like to meet you. I have told her we are exclusive. Yes.
Holy shit.
If anything doesn't pan out with podcast or my current school gig, maybe I can just be like a voice actor.
I thought you were going to say start your own prank anchor.
It's like, if nothing else pans out, Mike, you can just be a Russian.
What's horrible is I feel like my mind is bad. He's like, oh yeah, I do Russian stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, you do pranks, and I'm like, shit, mail order man service.
You gotta fall back. Gotta fall back.
Yes, I'm looking for a Russian. Will, I am your guy. Yes. I will be for you. Yes.
I've got just the guy for you.
Oh my God. Let's look over some of the headlines we could talk about.
Or that can even be like a sex phone, like one of those sex line. You just do like that's accents. Oh darling, I'm rock hard.
Oh my God,
it's unraveling.
That's pretty
I'll
good.
take care of you, sweetheart. Don't you worry about a thing. I'll
I
take care
never
of
knew
you.
you did an Irish accent.
Your Irish is really good.
It really is.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
You know what I got it from too?
What?
Practicing watching the Sons of Anarchy.
Oh,
When they were
I've
in
never seen
Belfast.
that. You were telling me to watch that one.
When they were in Belfast, that's like I was like, man, I probably can do some Irish. That's where I got it from.
That show ended. Seriously.
Don't tell me about it because I fucking still have not seen it. So don't tell me about it.
How far are you?
Just don't tell me about it. Just
It's
don't worry
really
about it.
good.
Just don't
That's
See,
all
guys,
I'm
this is
telling
why I can't do TV. I can't do it. I don't do it no more.
I don't do much
You remember what
TV.
happened to me? I started watching Walking Dead. It was, I don't even remember when this was. Last year, year before, something like that. Dude, I got sucked in so bad. I couldn't do anything but watch it. Like, every time I had free time, I was watching it. And I was really behind. There was, like, several seasons I hadn't seen. I just had to stop. I just had to walk away. To this day, I don't know what happened in the end of season 3.
Oh, you got to get caught up. Man. I just started watching The Wire.
I can't. It sucks up too much. I got too many things that take up my time already, man.
Yeah.
I got the 3 kids. I'm in school. I got a full-time job, playing music, podcasting. It's like I start watching a show and just everything falls apart. Like,
We were texting. Actually, we were talking about. Me and Tony were talking about. No, not texting. Just IMing. One day, and we were talking about like, oh my God. So he's like, I've gained so much weight.
yeah. Oh,
he was
shit.
like, he's like, when I met Myra, I was.
No, when I met. Oh.
No, you're like, when I met Myra, I was 170 pounds, and then when I met you, I was 205 pounds, and now I'm
Damn.
240. And I was like,
Oh,
damn,
shit.
Tony.
Yeah. Yeah, let me bring that right on the podcast. There we go. Yeah,
And
no.
I brought it to him. I was like, sounds like to me, you need to stop meeting people.
Yeah, that's really causing it.
We were
No, dude, I got to get my shit together, Jared. I need your help, buddy. You got some momentum going. You're actually doing it, getting in the gym, because it ebbs and flows like we were talking about. This year was particularly bad. I've never weighed 240 in my entire life. I'm 6'1". I never in my life have I hit 240.
Jared has never hit 240.
Jared's like,
You
I
looked
can't
at him.
imagine.
You looked at him like he hit it before.
He has some concept.
Damn.
He was like that.
How tall are you, Jared?
5'8" with my shoes on.
5'8". Okay.
Well, it's like me too. The heaviest I've ever done was 250.
Yeah.
at 6'3".
It's a bad moment when you hit that and you're like, I've never seen this on the scale before when I stood on it. Like, holy shit. It's a matter of just breaking habits, you know? Once the habits get going bad, they sustain themselves. And when you get going healthy, it usually sustains itself too. There's just always seems to be this like point that it falls off. And then you slip into the bad habits, and then those sustain themselves for a while, you know, and then you switch back.
Once I got stuck into eating different, then now I just can't eat certain things, a lot of it, because it makes my stomach hurt. It just makes me feel like crap. So it kind of just monitors itself. You know, like a lot of greasy stuff. God bless fried chicken. A lot of greasy stuff.
There's so much truth to that, because like when I really had my shit together last year and I was super in shape, like you were talking about back in the day, I was running all the time and that kind of stuff. It's funny how that works. You can't overdo it that bad, but if your habits get really, really bad, you won't think twice about eating junk in the morning, junk at lunch, junk at dinner, and it's just like, ugh.
I liken it to, you know, putting unleaded in a Ferrari. Like
you saying that your body's a Ferrari, Jared?
Corvette. It's but it's like, you know, if I eat
I got one of those big Ford vans.
He's the
primer gray,
the Echo Liner, Econoliner, whatever it's
called. You got that Chimo van with no windows.
We call that
caps.
No.
Oh my
back
God.
in the day, this guy used to work with Larry Leverett. We always joked around, and I always told him, because Larry drove one of those vans with no fucking windows, and I always tease him. I was like, you know, that's the CIV, son. And he's like, what the hell is that? I was like, that's a child interceptor vehicle.
Dude, I was going to say that a second. I was like, the kind that rolls up to the curb when the kids are playing basketball. Like, oh, man. Yeah, I got to do something, dude. Monday's my start day.
Having a goal is the start. You need to, you know, you have to start with it and say, this is, you know, what I want to do. And I write it down.
Yeah, you have to.
So, like, you know, for the first week I do the workout and I write down the weights. And then, like, the next week I go back and I try to just do a little heavier, do a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's with the weights. But, like, when you're talking about, like, eating clean and dieting and stuff like that, where I read is the most easy to transition. You can't just go, you know, having one or two cheat days a week and just go clean. Like next week, for example, Monday, when you start, Tony.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, I'm going to eat clean 5 days. Bam! I'm going to eat, you know, the whole week. Because they say that's how you get burnt out quick.
Yep.
You got to start off slow. So you do like 2 days healthy and then the rest you normal, like you would be. And then you go 3 days.
The thing is
4 days.
I love working out.
Yeah.
And I like, it's funny, you get in this thing where you get in this lazy mode where you just don't do it. But it only takes me like one trip. I get back in the gym once and I'm like, oh man, I miss this feeling. It feels so good. It's the eating thing for me. Me and Jared were talking about this because even when Jared takes a lot of time off of working out, I keep calling you Jared. I'm supposed to call you Bruce Leroy, right?
Don't matter. Same.
Same dude.
If you're a hacker, my name is Bruce Leroy.
But the thing is that you eat consistently. Obviously, we all eat consistently.
I eat consistently, too.
Yeah, I consistently eat a shit ton of calories. No, but you eat pretty well all the time. And like you were saying, you get to that point where it's such a habit, and when you do splurge and you eat something, you kind of almost regret it, and you probably go a long time before you do it again because it doesn't feel good. But that's one of the things is you'll go months without working out and you still stay reasonably in pretty good shape. And I think so much of it is because it is 50-50. Remember when Jose, our episode 1, we had a bodybuilder on, Jose Espinoza, and that's what he talked about. He said, before you talk about all these fancy workout plans, if you talk about doing all this crazy stuff, the first thing to get in line is your nutrition. Bottom line. That's where you start.
Well, Mike hit the nail on the head too. It's like you got to have those days where you kind of cheat. So for me during the week, I don't only eat, you know, like rice and vegetables or chicken because that's all there really is and there's not time for it. But like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is when I might have, you know, like Chinese food or a burger.
It makes a lot of sense.
You know, I reward myself on the weekend. Yeah. You know, but I also don't eat like, you know, 3 meals of crap. You know, I don't go to like Denny's in the morning and then for lunch I'm at KFC and then for dinner I'm at like a Mexican restaurant. You know, so, but like, if I go in, I'm going in. Like, if we go out to dinner on a Saturday, I'm going, you know, 2 chili rellenos, taco, burrito, tostada, couple margaritas.
Right. And because you eat so good, you probably won't get through all that. Yeah. You may try.
I might leave a little bit, like a couple bites, but.
That's when we always worked out. We always joked around with Bruce Leroy here. And I was like, man, I'm trying to get model fit. Like Bruce Leroy over here.
Yeah, Bruce Leroy takes a lot of shit for being in good shape. We've always given him shit for that.
I don't. It's like the weight doesn't change for me. Like the amount of weights I can do, because I can still lift a shit ton of weight. It's just the amount of weight that I put on.
No, I know, and that's what I'm talking about. And that's kind of always been my thing. Even when we were training for Tough Mudder and stuff, and I was doing really good, I'm still eating more than I probably should. You know, it's one of those things where it's like I was burning a lot of calories, and one of the things, making excuses, I guess, but really when I fucked my knee up and I couldn't run anymore, that was a huge thing for me, because I ran my whole life. That's all I've ever done is run. And then when it couldn't happen, I tried biking, I tried a couple other things, tried the elliptical machine, and it just didn't give me that same satisfaction. And so that's kind of been a battle for me, is fighting that. But the one thing that would completely counter that, just start eating right. You can eat right and just lift weights, and you probably be fine.
You gotta have some kind of cardio. You gotta have something.
Yeah, here and there.
Like for me, I'm lucky. I play football, so that burns you running.
That's
but
good
in
point.
you, and like
we have
that's
children.
mental.
We have children.
exactly.
That's our cardio.
Yeah,
Run around and chase them. I get my cardio trying to make children.
Bang, bang, bang.
not trying to make them, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe going through the motions.
Yeah, just the motion. Actually make them practice.
So, yeah, practice. Yeah.
And work out.
Don't get that twisted, girl.
Yeah.
Bruce Leroy looking to be a daddy.
Shit, I don't want to have to push her down the steps.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't push her. I'd just bump her gently.
Oh my god. Oh, you gotta do what you gotta do.
a little hip check.
Oh shit.
There she goes.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Yeah, I know. Having kids is a cardio in itself. I mean, every night, like we get, like it's supposed to be winding down, but like
they always get the most wild right before bed.
Right for bed. Well, the thing is, like, I work at a school where it's awesome, where we're off for the whole Christmas week and everything like that. So I had a week and a half off, and it's just me and my daughter because my wife is still working. Well, the thing is, I've noticed that when it's just me and my daughter, she doesn't like to take naps. Because I think she feels like she's going to miss out on hanging out with me because we have so much fun. Like, I literally, from wake up to nighttime, it's, man, running around the house. Ah!
It's funny how dads are like that.
And everything like that. And she's like just having a good old time. And it's like when it's time to take a nap, I'm like, you got to take a nap for real. You got to take a nap for real, okay? And she'll go and just lay down. And then 20 minutes later, dad. And I was like, dude, you got to go to sleep. So, like, lately what has been is I've had my wife put her down for a nap. Because if I put her down for a nap, she won't sleep. But if, my wife puts her down for a nap, she'll go to sleep. Because dad is fun.
Yeah. Funny dad's like, but I've got the regimen inside too. I'm always real scheduled about bedtime stuff. But it's a sad day. You'll experience this. It's a sad day when nap time goes away. Uh-oh. There comes a point where suddenly they're like, oh, they hit and they're all different. They kind of do it at different ages. But there's a day when you suddenly realize, like, they're not going to take daytime naps anymore. Like, you're not going to get that.
When does that happen? So I can prepare myself.
It depends on the age. Jaden stopped taking naps probably around like 5.
Oh, I guess so. That's
Jilly stopped at 4, and Jessie's 4, and she doesn't take them. She hasn't taken them since she was 3. So it happens.
I got a couple more years. I'm good.
Yeah.
A couple more years.
Yeah, time flies though, man. It goes really super fast.
Slip a little of that Z-Quil in one of them juice boxes.
Children's Benadryl.
God, people really do shit like
Dude,
that.
I've heard that for flights. I've heard that, like, when people take kids on flights, like, to go somewhere, they'll give them a little children's Benadryl.
Yeah, to me, that's too much. That's jacked up. You shouldn't do stuff like that. But
yeah, like Benadryl. Why would you give them medicine? That's crazy. Just give them a shot of Crown.
Great. Now that little tiny liver has to process all that alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a common thing back in the day. I was trying to remember if my mom ever did. I don't think she did, but I know, like, my cousins and stuff, they'd get, if you were really sick or something, they'd give you a little shot of whiskey and
hot toddy.
Yeah, right.
Toddy.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't drink.
Hot toddies are great when
my
you're
mom's
sick,
never drank. She's allergic to alcohol, but I remember when she was telling me, she was like, nowadays, because they say not to drink caffeine and you're pregnant and everything like that. She goes, I drink caffeine like you was crazy. She's like, I drink Mountain Dews and coffees. It's like, Mom, no wonder.
It's all coming together.
I was like, yeah, no wonder, Mom. Thanks. I can't sit still. My brain's always going. I'm afraid to let people in my head because I don't want them to know what's going on in there. I mean, you've experienced, Tony has experienced, right? On random ramblings on what I'm thinking.
You think it's the caffeine when you were in utero?
I think so. I think my body's just infused with caffeine. And then you get the blunt of it when I have my random thoughts on IM, and you're like, what
That's
the
good
hell?
stuff, though. Everybody should drink caffeine then. Drink caffeine when you're pregnant. Just kidding.
No.
Just say that.
Tony is not
I'm not
endorsed by the
FDA
FDA.
authorized to talk about such matters. Do not want to get in trouble for that again. We're coming up on the end here, fellas. We just got a minute left.
Last thoughts.
Thanks to everybody for listening to us just mindlessly ramble for an hour and a half here. No guests. So who do we got next week? Do you know? Is it
Wolf?
Wolf,
Yeah,
right?
MMA
coach. Talk a little bit of fighting next week.
Isn't he from the University of Oregon, too? He's going to probably have a lot of stuff to talk
He
about,
was
too.
a Duck, too. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can get into that for sure next week. But we appreciate it. It was a great year last year. Thanks to everybody who's downloading. Tell your friends. Keep telling people. Keep spreading it around. We're going to build this thing. We're working eventually toward a goal of simulcast, so we'll be doing live shows so you guys can tune in as we do them.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting our video aspect back here pretty soon, too.
Yeah.
So we'll have
As things wind down, it's just a time-consuming thing to do.
But it's exciting, man. I'm having a good time. In 2015, I'm recording an EP. EP is going to be dropping by summer. Going to have some digital downloads available soon.
Downloads,
playing some
and
live shows.
he'll also promote his live shows on where we'll be. So hopefully we'll get a few people out there. And then if you ever go to live shows, you'll be able to meet everybody. You'll be able to meet Tony. You'll be able to meet me, Mike. You'll be able to meet Bruce Leroy if he decides to come on down.
Yeah.
You know, all the people have been on there. I mean, probably everyone can meet Mark, Dom, I'm sure. They'll come to the shows. So anybody that's been dedicated listeners, you can come down and meet all of us. And again, if you have some chiming in to the show, it's Mike and Tony Show at gmail.com.
That's right. Mike and Tony Show at gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, fellas. Thanks for being here. Bruce Leroy, any last thoughts, buddy?
Man, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
20 fitting.
Indeed.
All right. So with that,
cheers.
that's a wrap. Cheers. Boom. Cowboy Super Bowl.
You think so?